Okay, so I guess my first thing is to make the breakout rooms for the chief judges and the
Yep.
isn't that all right?
Yep.
There's already a contestants briefing and a judges briefing here already, so that just sticks around, hey?
If you want to have a fresh start, you can click the recreate button so that everything goes back to square one if you want.
You mean the one right at the bottom?
Yep.
Yeah.
Recreate button if you want.
That's all right.
Yeah,
It's
actually
nice
Ryan
to know
knows
that-
how to do this. Yeah.
It's nice to know these all kind of sit there. Graham, you're the chief, you're the contest chair, right? Okay. Who's the chief? Loris, that's right. Briefing. They get Loris. Where is Loris? Loris. Where are you, Loris? Why? Is there a reason why Loris is not on this list?
Zoom hates him.
Because he's a co-host. Co-host sometimes not on the list.
No,
No, it should be. He should be
Juan's the
here.
co-host.
Oh, but Quan isn't on that list either.
Who is not? Quan.
Anybody who is a co-host doesn't normally go on the list.
All right. I think what's happening here, because these are the breakout rooms created before.
Yeah, have to recreate.
You can create them. You can close. You can delete this. Okay. You might want to delete. Okay, there you go. Then you can assign people.
Do we have everybody? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one. Is
Yeah.
Loris, are you in here?
Yeah, there you go.
There
At
he
the top.
is.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is okay. Loris, judge. It's it for them, and then here I think it's everyone else, right?
Well, not. Yeah.
The timer and usher as well in the judges briefing.
Yep.
Judges
Alright,
briefing.
so-
Yeah.
Oh, Quan, do you go in one of these rooms? Or are you okay here?
I'll stay here. Yeah, just to make sure everything's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Options down here. These are actually pretty cool.
You've actually put the ushers and the timers in with the contestants.
Has to be on the judges briefing.
Judges, that's right.
Swap. Yeah.
There we go. How's that look?
That
Well
looks 10 out of 10.
All these settings are okay. I'm not gonna
The top one.
allow you guys
Yeah.
to choose the room. I mean, in the probably we wouldn't do that during the contest though, right? So people aren't coming in and out. Or should I check this option? I think Quan did. I'm just trying to remember what the justification. Graham is saying no, definitely don't.
You can do it just to see what happens. Because my concern about this is if you do tick it, just as you said, Ryan, then people will be allowed to go to whatever rooms. And you don't want people dropping into the counting room when the judges are doing the counting.
Yeah.
I'm going to tick it for now just so we know what it looks like. I mean, play around with it if you want, but I'm just going to put it there, and I normally wouldn't do that probably.
All right. Just before you create, can you click option? I just want to comment on something.
Yes.
You know that countdown after closing breakdown room? There will be some instances that you want that too short, because you want to change that to 10 seconds, because 60 seconds is just way too long time. So just make sure you update that to something more appropriate.
Yep.
10 seconds sounds very short, actually.
What's that, Pete?
10 seconds sounds very short.
Yeah, that's when you want them. You
want them to come back on the main room immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
And change my name from Zoom Master to Dictator. Zoom Dictator.
Dictator.
All right, so y'all should be able to go to your breakout rooms if you want. Going pretty well so far, Quan.
Yep.
You move between all the breakout rooms?
Sorry?
As a co-host, can you move between the breakout rooms?
Yes. But when you enable that option, the first one, anybody can move between breakout rooms. Yep.
All right, I'll just check into the rooms and just say hi, and then I'll bring them all back.
Hi, Grace. Hope you're enjoying this session. If any questions, please ask. Thanks.
We're back.
So Ryan, you didn't need to be back in the main room to do that, did you? You could just do that
No.
from anywhere.
I did it from the room, then I left. Yeah, I can be where I want. Wherever you are, you can close down all of the breakout rooms I want. The command goes to all of the rooms, no matter if in the main room or the breakout room.
Yep. So now, Ryan, you'll be conducting the contest, and the contest chair. Yep, you will start the contest.
Am I the contest chair as well?
So Graham is.
No, it was Graham.
Yeah.
Graham.
That's me. Which contest are we doing?
Table topics first.
And-
Table topics. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Table Topics contest. It's a great pleasure to have you here, and we thank you very greatly for being here, because without you, this contest would not be possible. So, as it's a Table Topics contest, I would ask the Zoom Master, please, to take the contestants out to the contestant room.
Only one contestant, because contestant
Only
one can
one
stay. Yep.
contestant. That's right. Yes, let's just pretend we've drawn for speaking order, and it's as we've got. So contestant 1 is Pete, so he will stay in the room, but contestant 2 will go out to the contestant's room, and the usher should go out there as well.
Okay, so when I'm going to do this, if I open all the rooms, then everyone will be invited. So I should remove everyone from here?
You need to recreate the breakout room, Ryan, so that otherwise the judges will also be transferred to another room. Yeah.
Or you can delete the room. Yeah. Or you can
delete the room.
But then these people are still, I only want to take out one. So I can't take them off, can I? So I do have to recreate.
No, yeah. You have to delete it and recreate it.
Add a room. Just add a room. Oh, yeah.
That's it, Daniel. I love the name.
That's what I do.
On this dungeon, that's so good.
That is so good.
The usher goes into the room as well. So Joe
yes.
Evans goes into the room.
Enjoy the dungeon.
Yeah, the main point of the usher in these things is really to, how can I say, make sure the contestants and whoever else don't act up, as it were. So because act up. So they're not really supposed to talk about the contest or anything like that. And especially with the evaluation contest, people are allowed to take notes, but the usher is supposed to make sure that people are not looking at their notes while they're in the contestant room. Yeah? So at this point, we have contestant 1. Contestant 1 is Pete Evans. Pete Evans? God, where did I get that from? Pete Wild. Sorry.
Yeah, what's the topic?
I'm quite wild about that.
Holy crap. Sorry about that, dude. Yes, and your question for tonight is, what is your favourite colour? What is your favourite colour, Pete Wild?
My favourite colour is, in fact, yellow, and it's been that way for a long time. I don't know why, but it's basically because it's sunny and optimistic and symptomatic of good charm and vibrant goodwill. The funny thing about this is that I'm actually colourblind. I don't see colours very well. So I've got this very unique perception. And for me, I can't see red and green very well, but I do see yellow and blue well. So for me, rainbows are yellow and blue, which is part of the reason why yellow is such a favourite colour of mine, because it's one of the few colours I actually see properly. Contest chair.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Wild. An excellent answer.
So now, Ryan, you need to broadcast a message to the room to say that the next contestant can come in. Do you know how to broadcast a message?
To everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It could be to everybody. Couldn't it?
He already did, Kwan.
Yeah, he's tried it. He's
He
tried
already
it.
broadcast a message before.
And
So-
you could send it to everybody. It wouldn't matter, would it?
So at this
Yeah,
point,
but-
I would say we'll now have 1 minute silent for the
Yeah.
judges,
Yeah.
and that's when Ryan would say, would broadcast or pop into the room or something and say, "Hey, contestant number X, come back now."
Now, can the contestant X? They just have to quickly leave the breakout room, and that's it, right?
That's all. Yeah.
Let's see if this works. I can also go on there and follow up.
Usher him in with force.
We'll see. Trying all sorts of ways tonight.
If that's
Excellent.
my recommendation, if that's the last contestant, you can close the room
Yeah.
already at that point,
Yeah.
so you don't have to broadcast a message. So that he's gone.
No, just moved around. No.
So my tip for you guys, if that's the last contestant, so instead of sending them a message and broadcast a message, just close the room and make sure you have that 10-second, you updated the time so that the contestants from that breakout room will come back to the main room. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
just
good
another
point, yeah.
time.
So he just asked us to whether we want to join the other room. So we could do that normally or not, because we ticked that option in the settings.
Yeah, it looks like you can. There's
You
only
can.
one room there at the moment, the contestant dungeon. You have breakout
You
room.
want to join the contestant dungeon?
How do you? Where's? I can't even see that room. Where do I see that?
So down the bottom of your screen, you'll
Yeah.
either see something with more ... or breakout rooms. Is there a button that says breakout rooms?
Not for me.
No, not,
Or maybe it's just me as co-host.
yeah, I don't see anything.
Can you help me out here, Christina? I've totally.
It could be. I didn't see if did Ryan check the first option?
I
Yes,
think
he did.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Because we are a co-host, that's why we can see it.
All right.
Okay, we'll just share the screen. This is what you're supposed to see. So you're supposed to see this breakout room at the bottom. At the
Oh,
bottom, yeah. Do you have that?
no, I don't. When I was the co-host before, for that 2 minutes, that's what I saw. I can see.
Yeah. So if you click that, and then there's another one pop up, and then you can click join.
Right.
To join, yeah. Does everyone can everyone see that? Yeah. Okay, so that's how you join. But I'm not sure how come you guys can't see it.
Is that me personally, as in I can't do it, or everyone else can, as a is it co-hosts that can do that?
Because I'm a co-host, that's why I have that. So all the co-hosts can do that. The host and co-host can join any room. But for other participants, it has to tick that first option where anyone can join the breakout room. I'm just not sure if it was tick when
It was
when
tick. It was
it
tick.
was
I
tick.
remember,
Okay.
yeah.
Where is it for the rest of us? The ones that aren't co-hosts or to host? Where do we find this?
What's your question, Pete?
Sorry, where do we find that join facility if we're not a co-host or a host?
It should be the same spot as
Breakout rooms. Yeah.
breakout rooms.
Yeah.
So so you can you see my screen? You don't have it at the moment.
Yes, I can see breakout rooms. I don't have breakout rooms on my panel.
So what we're expecting is you have the breakout room in your panel, and then you can just click.
I do not have that, even though I had that option facilitated, I think.
Yeah.
You don't have it either, do you, Loris?
Yeah, Loris don't have it.
I'm going to try to assign you both into a room, and I'll see if that changes anything. I'm going to send Duck over there and say hi.
Were they both gone? You look very concerned, Joe.
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about something. Sorry.
So Sabrina's supposed to compete, right?
Oh, is that what you're after? Yes. Yes. Welcome back to the contest. And our next contestant is Sabrina Islam. Sabrina, your question is, what is your favorite color? What is your favorite color, Sabrina Islam?
Thank you for the question. I really don't have any favorite color. I generally like any color that seems appropriate at that space. But I do have a thing for complementary color combinations such as pink and blue or green and orange. I do feel like it sort of brings out the contrast very nicely and it thrills my otherwise boring eyes. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, Sabrina. I'm sure that you don't have boring eyes.
Yeah.
1 minute silence, please, for the judges while they.
That's the last
consider.
contestant. Yeah.
It's the last contestant, and they have 1 minute silence so that we can finish filling them out, and then we get people to come and collect the ballots.
Yep. And what happened in the previous contest? So the same thing happens. Get the results, announce the results, and yeah. So the issue with Loris, is it sorted out or?
No, they for some reason can't. You don't have the breakout room thing on there, so maybe it's like they haven't updated the machine, or they need to restart their computer, or they need the quick look setting. Like it could be one of 1,000 little things
Okay.
like that. But
So in short, user error, Ryan, is that what you're saying?
I'm guessing so. I mean, it's not systematic because they can't.
Yeah, or you can close the room so that they'll be chucked out. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be forced to come back here. So Zoom master / dictator.
Dictator, yes. All right, I'll close those rooms. Hope they enjoy the last 10 seconds.
So now the last simulation will be the evaluation contest. So Ryan, so for the judges and contestants briefing, we assume that it's been done. So we don't have to allocate the rooms again. So now we need a test. So I'll be the test speaker. So Graham will be the contest chair. He will introduce me as a test speaker. I will give my 5 to 7 minute speech. Let's assume that I've done it. 5 to 7 minutes speech time passes so fast. Finish.
Yeah, woohoo!
And now, Ryan, what needs to be done is you need to create a room to put the usher and the 2 contestants in the breakout room.
All right, I'll share my screen again so you guys can follow along a bit. All right, so I'm just going to start over again. I think that's the easiest way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Delete. Add room. So this is going to be the contestants room. Is that right?
Contestants dungeon, please.
I am so going to use that.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Good luck.
It's the contestants, the chief judge. No, sorry.
Oh, not the chief judge. No, not the chair.
No,
just
not
the
the chair.
usher. Just the contestants and the usher.
Cool. And then.
That's interesting. Can I just ask a question there?
Options.
I've often wanted to put my ushers as being my counters too. Is that going to not work?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's okay because they're not doing their job at the same time.
Correct.
And the usher is only going to watch the contestants.
Correct.
So that's on the club level, but in the area, the division and district, it's a lot stricter.
I do know that.
You can't have multiple roles on that same event, but on the club area.
Unless impractical.
Unless impractical, I love it.
Before you assign them to the rooms, they need to have 5 minutes. Oh no!
Yes.
I think they have left.
Okay.
Then
We'll see if they come back.
You're having so much fun with this, Ryan. Close the room and they'll come back, and they will come back.
I trust them. I trust them. I'm both.
Please. So there's some democracy now.
I'm very desperate. All right, I'm just gonna close the room.
Yeah, they don't want to come back.
Sorry, guys. I made that breakout room prematurely.
That's fine.
I didn't have time to do my evaluation. That was the shortest 5 minutes I've ever had in my life. I was just getting to know my fellow contestants and making gaffes all the way.
so in the breakout room, the usher has to time 5 minutes. 4 minutes, there's a warning, and then after that, that's where the problem starts. So the usher needs to find a way to communicate with the Zoom master that the 5 minutes is up. And one of the ways that we used in the previous session is the usher calls for help.
Calls for what?
Calls for help. Ask for help. So that is an indication when the 5 minutes is finished.
Yeah, if I was usher, I'd be calling help at 1 minute. Sorry.
So another way to do it is for the usher to leave the room. Then, because in practice there'll be 2 ushers. So if one usher leaves the room, then the contest chair and Zoom master knows that the 5 minutes is up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other way that you can also do it is after the 5 minutes. So the Zoom master is also tracking the time in the main room. So in the breakout room where the ushers and the 2 evaluation contestants are in there, after the 5 minutes, the first contestants go to the main room, leave the main room after the 5 minutes. So the very first contestants, so that will also, as soon as the Zoom master sees the first contestants came back from the breakout room, then that means it's ready to go.
But Christina, there might be a problem where the contestant interviews the test speaker before the first contestant comes in, and But for me, I'll try to avoid that by not interviewing anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one during the district last year or this year. There is a communication via phone. The usher and the Zoom masters calling each other.
Yeah.
So there's another way.
Yeah, through text or WhatsApp or the third party way. Yeah.
So I've got a question. I hadn't thought about this. Normally how people have their notes and they write their notes. So how are people taking? So people have to write notes on the piece of paper as normal, and then how are they not looking at them to make it fair?
They have to hold them up or have eyes on the screen.
That's the job of the usher, kind of.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking. So the usher just has to kind of say to people, "You've got to
put your notes somewhere where I can see them."
Like maybe put it down. Okay.
Yeah. And don't look at them.
And look at me. Look at me.
There's a bit of trust involved.
Yeah, of course, there's trust involved. Yeah.
But that's generally why the usher is there, to kind of make sure.
And another tip that the usher can do is to ask the contestants to move back a little bit away from the camera, so you can see half of the body and you can see that they're not writing anything, or they're not,
Well, put their hands on their head and play a game.
Yeah. But anyway, we're Toastmasters here. Normally we trust each other.
I know, but it could be tempting, couldn't it?
It could be tempting. Yes,
just
true.
Be glancing down. So, all the goodwill in the world. Yeah. It's a bit of a weird system anyway, isn't it? Because the people who go later are at an advantage anyway. So, yeah. Okay.
Or you can even write your notes on your desktop and stare straight at the camera and no one would even know.
No, but you have to write them on a piece of paper.
Oh,
Again, there's a fair bit of trust involved. You just,
Yeah.
yeah, there's only so much
So,
you can do.
so if you're writing it, you have to show it to the usher that you're putting it, you face down. That, you know, you have, in a way, there should be a way that the usher knows that you're no longer looking at your notes, because that's the rule of the evaluation. There you go.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll work it out. Yeah. All
Yeah.
good.
So assume the contest progress, contestants, evaluators speak, and judges get the submit the votes, get the results, announce the winners, and finish. So, does anyone have any questions about these two contests and why and how it's different from the first one?
Sorry, how do you actually arrange the shunting in? I'm sorry, we may have covered this, but we glossed over it a bit fast. The big difference of evaluation and tabletop is you actually have to shunt people in from the contestants room, don't you?
You have to do that in all of them.
You can, but you don't have to do it in the humorous or international.
No.
No.
And normally you don't. You don't have
Oh,
a
I see what you're saying.
quarantine.
Yeah, okay.
That's a big difference. I mean, people may optionally want to stay there, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to enforce it. Whereas you have to be quite disciplined about bringing people in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
as a Zoom master, you can just jump back and forth between the rooms, and you can pull people in yourself, message, using the global or the broadcast feature. Between those two ways, you should be able to make it happen.
Or like Christina mentioned, the two ushers will communicate via text or WhatsApp, so to bring the contestants in one by one. That's another way to do it.
Okay, so there are several sort of solutions to the technical problem,
Yeah.
aren't there?
Yeah.
And it depends on what sort of works for you in your particular context. I'm particularly interested myself in terms of running an area contest where I want to get this right. Club is club, and people are a bit forgiving at club. They're not so forgiving at area, and you really want to get something that works pretty squeaky clean at area. I'm really grateful for this because that's what I'll be using when I run an area or oversee an area contest. And I think that number us in this context.
My number one tip to everybody is just as you do for any Toastmasters thing, practice beforehand. Yeah. If you can, especially if you can get somebody who's got, like a higher end account and get them to give you hosting privileges, enlist members of your family, enlist club members, whatever, run yourself a mock contest and practice all these kind of things beforehand so that you are familiar with these things and know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, look, that doesn't make a sense. Like it would make sense for argument's sake in a club to run a mock contest, even if you don't have a real contest, but mock contest before area.
If you want a tip from me, if you have multiple devices at home, like a few laptops and a mobile phone, what you can do is you can create dummy users so that you can practice moving dummy users to breakout rooms.
All right.
I learned this from Danielle Jones-Resnick. Yep.
Good. Okay, thanks.
So it is nearly 9 o'clock, and I'm quite surprised that despite all of our chatter and conversations, which were quite meaningful, we managed to finish nearly on time. So if you guys have any questions, I will be here for a while. So yeah.
Just like to say this is really helpful, this stuff. I mean, even with the fact that we have a bit of hiccups on the way, I mean, this is a very high-end application of Zoom, and it stretches Zoom to the extreme limits. As does a lot of Toastmaster stuff when it goes over to electronic format. And I think that's it's been really, really helpful, and we should continue these sorts of hands-on stuff. I think great stuff you guys are doing.
Yep. One more thing before you guys go, please change if you. I think it will be reset automatically because now you have the roles in your name. So if you go to the next meeting, I think it will be reset to your normal name. But just to be safe, yeah.
For your clubs, and if you're really desperate for a Zoom master, and you can't find anyone, pop in the email address of the district Zoom team. So that's Kwan, myself, and Graham, and the rest of the Zoom master in our district. Just pop us an email, and if one of us will respond if whoever is available to help you out.
Happy to help.
Yeah, we're happy to help, and mostly, almost immediately, one of us normally responds, "Yep, I can help during that day."
That's great.
Yeah. So if you need help in your club or in your area contest, just send an email to that one, and we will book it.
So it's a pool of Zoom masters.
Yes, and there's a lot of us. How many of us now, Kwan, Graham?
I think there's about 7 or 8.
Yeah. So, and maybe Ryan can join the group.
Give me an 8 day in the week, and I'm all in.
Sorry, before we continue, I would like to thank everybody for coming, and I shall now stop the recording so that we can talk more. So thank you very much for coming.
Oh, thank you so much.